Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to my channel on building out my Expedition camper. This is a DIY Expedition camper, started from a bare chassis and also building up the Total Composites panels built to my specifications. Well, in this video, I'm going to actually get into how am I building out a completely leak-free shower pan and also one that's got electric heating built into it. So after go ahead and finishing up with all the end caps, again, this camper actually sealed it from the exterior, at least except for the entry door, which I'll get to a little more of that in the end, and also getting all these lights installed as well as the accessory lights to shine down here. So all the marker lights and accessory lights. Now we're going to get into a shower pan. And one of the things I really wanted the shower pan is I wanted to make sure two things. One is I was thermally broken from the actual exterior, and that also meant the plumbing going through the floor, so that if any freezing or anything like that happened to that tubing, it didn't get transferred in, both the frozen water pushing in as well as of course the transfer of that heat from the inside to outside in a cold environment. But also they could access that plumbing from the inside and also from the outside very easily, so that way I can do any maintenance or repairs on it and make sure if there's any leaks I can always repair it and fix it. So let's get into it. So one thing, I wanted the shower pan up at about the same level as the entry doorway. So I went ahead and built this little bit 80-20 frame to go ahead and level it up and also give it structure to support it. I actually bought a shower pan like this one here, and it was terrible. They had these PVC pipes glued through the bottom of this fiberglass pan, and they were kind of sharp edges, did not like it, so I returned that and ended up getting a different one that had a very nice smooth finish on the bottom and had a very flat and flush bottom, and is also made of an acrylic instead of fiberglass, a very strong acrylic. Went ahead and pulled out basically a fiberglass cutting blade with my jigsaw and took to the actual doorway, the entry doorway that was cut out, the big sheet of composite panel. It's 2 inches because I needed to add 2 more inches up, and it was a lot lighter weight and cheaper to do it with this door cut out to bring that up, to bring the shower pan up to the exact level I wanted it, and also add some additional insulation on the bottom of the shower pan and allow me to get it level, but also allow me to easily pull the shower pan out, and I can pull this doorway out later as well if I ever need to change out that shower pan. One thing I need to do with this doorway is cut a little bit of a, call it circular rounded groove into it to be able to fit the drain, because remember I want to be able to access the drain from the inside and have it not go straight down through the floor, so I'm not getting that thermal transfer between the plumbing to the bottom of the shower pan, having any freezing issues or anything in the bottom of the shower pan. Make sure it can always drain in any weather environment, and that also I can connect into it for a drain for my composting toilet if I ever need to for the urine drain, and also I can still run the washer and dryer that drains into the shower pan as well and use all those throughout the winter time. By using this composite panel here, it allowed me to be able to access all those but raise it up, give it that little more insulation, and give it a nice smooth flat platform for the radiant floor mat that's coming in. Well, it's a pretty clean cut. Just gonna round off that end. That's all good. Check my measurements. I'm good. So which cut's better? Yeah, I'd say without doubt the saw does cut cleaner, just because it's a less jagged edge. You see this really jagged edge in here, really quite beat up compared to the saw. Well, it's pretty beat up too. Take this tape off and we'll see. Maybe not as big of a difference as I had thought. One thing with the jigsaw, you can see it's a little bit of an angled cut. It angles inward as the blade goes around, and like the circle saw, it creates a perfectly straight cut. But for this purpose, it's fine, and the angle's really pretty minute over here. And there's just during that turn, so not really such an issue for the straight cut. Overall, you can actually see here in the cutoff piece, it's pretty clean. Quite clean, actually. Much cleaner than I had anticipated. And that's with this wood, aggressive wood / fiberglass blade. Not much of fiberglass blade, but hey, it seems you're working for that. So here's the setup. The shower pan on top of this fiberglass composite panel with a cutout for the drain, so I can access the drain, and the drain can actually go sideways. I'll put a link to this drain part in here, but it's a really nice setup overall, so I can access the drain from inside, and all the plumbing and everything else can go out essentially horizontally along the floor. I can also lay on top of this composite panel the polymer electric radiant heating mat. This is an electric heating mat, but it is not your typical conductive heating mat that we see. This is actually a polymer that heats up. It only has conductive connections really on the ends, and that's it. Everywhere else it is actually non-conductive. It actually can be placed in, be underwater. It'll be fine. It's actually made to be safe for RVs and under just about any kind of flooring as well. It also runs on either 12 or 24 volt DC, and as you can see here, it even can be walked or stepped on fairly moderately just fine. So with the shower pan coming in here, one thing I did to kind of smooth out the platforms at the bottom of it is to actually put sheets of HDPE in the bottom of it, the little anchor points at the bottom, make sure that they were nice and smooth and flat, and also that the shower pan essentially rides on its perimeter as well, laying down here. So there isn't any puncture points or tight points or anything else. Also, those electrical connections on the heating pad also come out where that cutout is, and so there is no pressure at all from the shower pan on them, and they can also be accessed while the shower pan is in place. So this allows any maintenance or anything to those to ever be done, should ever be done. And you also notice here the base of my cabinet is actually elevated off of the shower pan. That was intentional for many reasons, and I'll get into this in a minute. So next time I build a camper, this should go in sooner. Or be smaller.
Half an inch smaller.
Yeah. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I try to get everything down to literally 1 millimeter of accuracy, and that's exactly what this shower is designed to be. And this is not just the shower, but it's also the entryway, as you can see here. So the shower pan comes in through the entry door, which is going to be glued on next in an upcoming video, and it comes on in. That way any dirt from shoes and things like that, paws, whatever it may be, all goes into the shower pan, and therefore can be easily contained and of course easily also cleaned out, swept out, or even just rinsed down. Now, part of the reason why I went with this shower pan is because it does have a lip all around. I'm going to put a decking over it, and also that will contain all the water in there, and that decking will bring up at the level of the entry door, so the water will be fully contained. It's got a nice solid platform. It's also contiguous, so it's no kind of leaks or anything other than the drain. The drain is over to the side, and so that way I can access it from the side of the camper, not having to reach up through where the engine and transmission are to get to it, which is underneath this spot here. And so that's another added benefit. And also it's basically thermally non-conductive, but it is a perfect fit within this space that I built out already with all the cabinetry already complete and so forth. And so it is a very tight fit in there, and that is to make sure I have no missed space at all anywhere in this camper, that I'm utilizing all the space. And of course the perimeter up against the wall to make sure no water leaks down underneath the floor, even though I can access it if I need to clean it up. But that will be of course sealed up, and there'll be also a little trim with a side cabinetry that's going to go all the way around the whole entire shower pan that will then overlap with the bottom of the shower pan or this lip. And so that way any water that goes down the walls will drain into the shower pan and not be able to go anywhere else. And that includes also from the cabinets that are even above it, and even the toilet is above this. So if there's any leaks from it, it would also leak into the shower pan, and there's an access port for that all at the base of that cabinet. If we could just slide this piece here forward a hair. So this piece, in theory, if we can get to those two connectors with a long extension, we can loosen them and just put this in. Yes, everything is built pretty much to 1 millimeter, just perfection. You'll notice that the cabinetry here right above the shower pan is actually floating above it. It's tied into that corner, both of those walls there, to support it fully, but that is floating to make sure that all the bathroom cabinetry actually isn't in the shower pan. Verticals. Okay, we ready to go down? I'm going to have to come forward just towards you.
Yep.
Hair? Okay, come towards me here. I should be able to push this down now. And I think that's going to correct for that.
Yep.
There. How's that look? That looks great, doesn't it? It looks level. How are we on your end? It looks level?
Yeah, I mean, this looks about...
We're in there, right?
Yeah.
We're in. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of work.
That was a little bit of a...
You need a hand?
No, I'm just trying to feel if I feel it moving any.
Okay, good.
I mean, look at this. It is like absolutely parallel to that edge, or as close as you're ever going to see.
Which is good. And so here's, yes, this is actually like good overall. And I'll tell you why has to do with the door. But let's the shower pan in. Now the entry door can be installed. Then we'll fully seal up this camper. Now you can see here a little more on this cabinet, this bathroom cabinet. It is actually elevated above the shower pan, so none of it gets wet, stays out of being wet. But yet that'll also allow me to access the shower pan and also access this drain. You can see right there from both inside and outside. So for any cleaning, maintenance, or repairs, or any leaks that have to be taken care of. This is a little preview of what it might look like with the wood that's going to be installed in there. And this is the shower drain from outside, which is not only has a clean out, so I can easily clean it out should I need to, but access it should I need to. And it also travels over the transmission, so it'll actually get warmth when the engine's running during the cold winter. And of course, coming up, the very finishing of the interior cabinetry and also the installation of this entry door. And then I can get on to the installation of the electrical system and so much more to come in this big DIY expedition camper build. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing. Please do share with others, and I hope you sort of learned something from this. Please do put any notes in the comments below if you have any questions or anything else.